What is up, guys? It's Fresco, formerly known as Picasso Kicks, back at it again. I'm extremely excited to be back, but before we get into today's video, I wanted to take some time to say thank you. First and foremost, thank you for all the supporters who have rocked it out with me to this point. 2020 and 2021 have been extremely hectic, especially with everything that's been going on in the world. 2022 is bringing a lot of new things, starting with our rebrand. Fresco is going to be dedicated to bringing you guys a lot of new helpful tips and tricks for the restorers and customizers. Those helpful tips and tricks are going to start today, where we're going to start a short series on how to repaint midsoles. This series is going to include multiple separate parts, starting with today's featured video on how to tape. Now, we're going to teach you how to tape, what tapes to use, and also the importance of taping. Now, most of you will probably already know a lot of this information, but this is going to be a critical video if you're just a beginner or if you haven't found that right tape to use. Now, don't forget to subscribe and also press that bell notification for you to be notified when I drop some new content. Like and share if you found this video informative, and also comment down below what you guys would like for me to show next. Make sure that you head over to Instagram and also follow me there. Fresco.corp. Now, with that being said, I'll also make sure that in the description box below I leave links to the tapes that I was using and also all the tools that I used during this video. Without any further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Alright guys, so first things first. It's best to have the midsoles masked off prior to stripping. But for the purpose of this video, we will be using an already stripped midsole as an example. You can see that when taping off the uppers, I tear piece by piece so that it's easier to manage, especially getting into uneven curvatures of the midsole. Personally, I like to use an X-Acto knife to cut away any unwanted pieces and be as precise as possible for when painting. The tape that I like and recommend is a 3M automotive masking tape. The easiest place to find this is on Amazon. Compared to some of your other local brand tapes, it may be a bit more costly, but prep is key, so it's better to invest into your craft. I've experimented and have come across many different tapes, and this is the one that has worked best for me. Now, something that I personally always do is tape off that air bubble. The simple route would be to tear a piece of tape a bit longer than the length of the socket. This is where you have fun, and this is where the spirit fingers come in, so you can roll the tape. Place it into the socket and use the end of a paintbrush to push it into place. Now, I know that some paint over it and use an X-Acto knife or a toothpick to scratch off the paint, but in my opinion it's only okay to use the toothpick on the edges and not the entire bubble. I used to do this as well, but what ruined it for me were the small scratches that were left behind. I've also heard a few horror stories where the air bubble pops, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, if you like to be better safe than sorry, or if you just like to do things exact, a way you could do this is to place tape over the socket and use an X-Acto knife to cut out the fitting to the length and width. Otherwise, what I used to do when I was a beginner and didn't feel as comfortable was to trace out with a pencil and use the X-Acto knife or scissors to cut it out. After that's done, I typically use tweezers to place the tape perfectly onto the air bubble. So truth be told, there's benefits to both routes. If you choose a simple route, it's more time effective. But when you're done with the repaint, you'll have to go back over and repaint the inside of the air bubble by hand. If you cut out the exact length and size of the air bubble, then you can pretty much paint over it either by hand or airbrush altogether. When taping off the outsole, you can stretch out the tape a bit longer to cover more ground since there aren't as many curvatures. Now in the areas where there are some curvatures, what I do is I normally go back over and I repeat the process of letting my X-Acto knife do the handiwork for me. Now this is a bit of bonus footage, but still important when choosing the right tapes for different parts of the shoes. If you're like me, you like a good icing. And the importance of taping off the pods is to avoid discoloration and, more importantly, traction loss. The GM general purpose vinyl tape is my go-to when icing. I even feel comfortable and confident alternating between the 3M vinyl tape and masking tape for outsoles. Once again, the easiest place to find this is on Amazon. I'm sure you noticed that when I taped off the pods, I'm going over the tape with the back of my X-Acto knife. This is a simple trick to make sure that when icing, the combination of heat and chemicals don't make the adhesion of the tape to come off easily. Now, call me crazy, but this is where somewhat longer nails come in handy because you can outline the ridge to where you want to make your cuts. And last but not least, pick and pull the scraps that you don't need or want, and you're all done. Hey guys, I'm so glad that you guys were able to make it this far. I hope that this video served its purpose on being informative and also helpful, bringing tips and tricks on how to tape. Make sure that you guys subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell notification so that way you guys can be notified on part 2 of the How to Repaint Midsole series. Part 2 is going to be focused on how to strip midsoles. Now, again, I ask that if you enjoyed the video that you like and you share, and also comment down below what you guys would like to see next. Make sure that you guys head on over to Instagram and follow me there so that way you guys can keep up to date on everything new going on with Fresco. My Instagram tag is fresco.corp. Now, without any further ado, I appreciate you guys rocking it out with me one more time, and until next time, Fresco out.